welcome back to Disney and Beyond, your one-stop shop for all things Disney and pop culture. Up today, we've got the Disney News Roundup edition. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the Disney edition of the News Roundup, and it's going to be broken down into various different parts because I want to try and cover as much of the Disney news as I possibly can in a short space of time. So the first part will be about the Disney parks, all the happenings going on around the Disney parks all around the world. Um, I'll put the timestamp for that in the description below if that's what you're interested in. And the second part will be about all the other things related to Disney, so TV, film, everything else. So let's get started with the Disney parks news. So the biggest news story is one that's actually surfaced recently, and that's the changes being made to the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction at the Disney parks in America and in Disneyland Paris. Now, the changes that are actually being made in Orlando, and I do believe it's going to be the same in California, is the scene with the auction of the women. It's a very iconic scene, it's a very famous scene, where the women are basically auctioned off by the pirates. However, Disney have decided that it's not particularly PC to have a scene like that in one of their attractions. So they're changing it to just a general auction of things that the pirates have stolen and plundered. And as part of that, the famous redhead in the scene is now going to become a pirate herself and be helping with the auction. Now, this has been quite a controversial news story, as a lot of people say it's just Disney trying to whitewash history and it's a change that should have been made. It's an iconic scene. So, yeah, it's caused a lot of hoo-ha. But personally, I don't think it's that big a deal. Rides change. As long as it enhances the ride, it doesn't affect the quality of the ride, it doesn't really matter. However, Disneyland Paris is actually getting the biggest changes to their Pirates of the Caribbean because they're not only getting that scene, they're also getting new effects, new audio animatronics. Captain Barbosa is being added. Captain Jack Sparrow is being added. They're changing the narrative of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland Paris, and it's just getting a massive overhaul, a massive enhancement. And I think some people are annoyed that Disneyland Paris is getting a complete enhancement, whereas Orlando and the rest are just getting this basic scene change that a lot of people would say is unnecessary and changes the ride and kind of covers up history. Historically, it's kind of accurate, and you can't really change history, even the bad parts. So, yeah, that's the changes to the ride itself. But Disneyland Paris is also getting a overhaul of the restaurant attached to the ride. In Disneyland Paris, you have the attraction itself, and then you have the Blue Lagoon restaurant, which is also getting a retheming. That's becoming Captain Jack's restaurant. The story is that Captain Jack won it in a game of cards or something, and will now be running the restaurant. So, don't know if the menu is changing. I would imagine so. The interior is completely changing, and it's getting a new name. So that'll be interesting to see what the food is like there. and in Disneyland Paris, it's closed at the moment, but it will be reopening, I do believe, towards the end of July. So watch out for that if you're heading to the Disneyland park. Not sure when the changes are happening in the other parks, but I imagine that will be announced at some point soon. So, sticking with the American parks, sadly, Disney Quest in Disney Springs in Orlando is finally going to be closing. The rumors were that it was closing last year, but that never happened, and it was going to be replaced with the NBA experience. Then it seemed that that idea had been scrapped, and Disney Quest trundled on for a little while. But it is finally closing on the 3rd of July, which, as of this video, is actually tomorrow. So, goodbye, Disney Quest. I always enjoyed my time there. I went back in December last year, and it was very tired. It needs a massive overhaul, and everything is outdated. A lot of the things were broken, and yeah, I mean, I still enjoyed it. The arcade part is awesome, especially the retro stuff. But in today's world, it's probably not something that is going to interest a lot of people, and it's kind of a failed experiment with the fact that Disney wanted to put Disney Quests all over America as indoor theme parks, but that obviously only happened in Chicago and never made any real money, and the idea was scrapped. So, due to probably lack of investment, Disney Quest has slowly degraded, which is a shame because it was always a good place to go in Florida, in Orlando, when the rain came down. If you're in downtown Disney or Disney Springs as it now is, it's all indoors. So it kept you out of the rain for a few hours, and it was a lot of fun back in the day. But it is now going to probably become the NBA experience. It'd be interesting to see what that experience is going to be, and I will look forward to see that. As I am a basketball fan, I do enjoy the NBA. I went to see Orlando Magic play back in December when I was out there, so it'll be exciting. And Disney always do a great job when they add a new attraction or a new experience. So yeah, look out for that one when that finally happens and gets officially announced. Also, it's been announced that at the D23 Expo, changes to Epcot, specifically Future World, will be announced. Now, there's a lot to cover in this news story, so in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be doing a complete video of what those changes might entail, what the rumours are, probably just after D23 when we've got a bit more concrete information. Um, but one of my changes I'm most excited for is the rumour that the Universal Energy Pavilion, where Ellen's Energy Adventure is currently housed, is going to be changing to one of three properties. Now, we're not sure which it's going to be yet. It is definitely changing because plans were submitted to expand the pavilion there. Um, One of the rumours is Guardians of the Galaxy, but that hinges entirely on whether Disney can do a deal with Universal Studios to have Marvel properties in the park, because currently Universal Studios have the rights to Marvel properties in theme parks, specifically in Orlando. Obviously, California got Mission Breakout, which is a Guardians of the Galaxy themed attraction. Was the retheming of the Hollywood Tower of Terror. That attraction looked great. Um, it won't be the same attraction, I don't think, but it would be good to maybe have Guardians of the Galaxy in Orlando. However, not entirely sure that Epcot would be the place for that. The other rumours are that it will get the Tron light cycle. The company that made the Tron light cycle are pushing for a similar attraction, if not the same attraction, in a Disney park in Orlando. Epcot could probably do with another high thrill ride, and the Tron Light Cycle, which is currently in Shanghai, might be a good fit. It's also another IP that they can add to the park, as that seems to be a trend that they're pushing towards with Epcot. Um, so yeah, that could happen. And the third possible replacement for an energy adventure is a Big Hero 6 centered attraction or experience. Um, I love Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6 is getting a new TV show. So it could be a good fit. Again, would be a futuristic property and another IP that they could use. So it'd be interesting to see what does go in that energy pavilion, but hopefully we will know more come D23, where I will, as I say, do a video going into a little bit more detail and covering a lot of the other changes, because it seems like Epcot over 5-6 years is going to get a lot of changes, and there's a lot to cover there, and it will take on a whole video to do it. So watch out for that one. Maui, the character from the very popular Moana films, has been spotted in a meet and greet place in Shanghai, Disney. Um, this has led people to believe that he could be making an appearance in the other Disney parks around the world. Um, Obviously, Moana is currently housed in uh, Adventureland in the Disneyland Park in California. She is apparently coming back to Hollywood Studios. Maybe not directly Hollywood Studios. It may follow California and be in Adventureland, but she is coming back to the Walt Disney World parks. So she has also had an appearance in a meet and greet in the Disneyland park in Paris, where she's obviously known as Vaiana, not Moana. But yeah, so the pictures I've seen of the costume for Maui look good. Disney is certainly upping their costumes when it comes to characters. I did hear somewhere that he may be an interactive character, like Mickey is, where you meet Mickey in the Disney parks. So be interested to see if that is true. I love meeting the characters. I've got lots of pictures meeting characters. I try and do a different character each time I go to Disneyland Paris. So it would be cool to get something new and get a new character. I did enjoy them all on the films. I do particularly like Maui. So yeah, that'll be really great if that does happen, and he does spread to the other parks. However, there was a lot of controversy with the children's costume that released when the Moana film came out. I don't know what audiences and guests will think of a Maui costume. Obviously, it did cause some controversy, but maybe if it's the actual Maui character, it may not be so bad. So, yeah, that is something that could happen and has happened in Shanghai. Now, obviously, earlier in the video, I briefly mentioned Disneyland Paris and the Pirates of the Caribbean changes that are taking place, which reopens on the 24th of July. There are other changes taking place at Disneyland Paris. In fact, there are very big changes taking place in Disneyland Paris. It was recently announced that the Walt Disney Company, the umbrella company that owns all of Walt Disney, has now fully taken control of the Disneyland Paris park. It previously was owned by the Euro Disney Group, which was a consortium that were in charge of Disney, of which the Walt Disney Company owned a certain amount of shares. This was the way Disney did business back in the 90s to get the parks up and running, to get them built, to get them created. Now they are injecting 1.5 billion into Disneyland Paris. There is a 10-year plan proposed to enhance and improve customer experiences, guest experiences, mainly in the studio park. We don't know what these changes are. We know that Marvel is going to have a presence in the studio park. What that presence will be, we don't yet know. But the fact that the Walt Disney Company now own Disneyland Paris and have control of Disneyland Paris is a very, very good thing in the sense that they will hopefully bring some of the magic from the American. Not that Disneyland Paris doesn't have a lot of magic, it's a fantastic park. It's certainly the best looking park. In my opinion, anyway, it's the best looking park. But the studio park has suffered due to lack of development. It's only really had the Ratatouille area added to it and the Toy Story area over the last few years, and it needs more. The area that is proposed to be, or potentially be Marvel, is where Cinemagic was. That is next year going to be a Marvel stage show. There's already Spider-Man down that walkway, down that road, next to opposite Tower Terror. Obviously, Mission Breakout happened in California and has been relatively well received from what I've heard and what I've seen. It does look like a very good attraction, does look like a very immersive, very good experience. Whether that will come to the studio park, who knows? But 1.5 billion is a lot of money, and overlays and interior changes with minor exterior cosmetic changes isn't overly expensive for a company to do. Obviously, some of that 1.5 billion is also going into the hotels. The Disneyland Park has had major refurbishments, so it's only really the studio park left. So it's quite a bright future for Walt Disneyland, Disneyland Park in Paris, and it'll be interesting to see what the Walt Disney Company do with their overall control. We are already seeing minor changes. There have been new Fast Pass locations added. The Fast Pass Plus in Disneyland Paris has always been slightly underwhelming. There are very few areas in which photographers take photos. It's mainly with the character meets, and then they don't always have the technology required to actually scan your Fast Pass Plus card. They sometimes give you a ticket and you have to go to one of the counters in shops to have that scanned onto your Photo Pass Plus. So it's always been a question of whether Photo Pass Plus is worth it in Disneyland Paris. There's only a few rides that actually take pictures as well. When the annual passes became the new annual passes, it became particularly with the Infinity. I'm not sure about the other passes, but with the Infinity Pass, you do get a year's Photo Pass Plus as part of your annual pass. So whether this has had some impact on them adding new locations, who knows? But it seems to be that Photo Pass, particularly over the summer months, may be worth it. They are apparently permanent places, but obviously the winter with the weather in France, it gets cold. They may not always be there all day because it does get very, very cold. Obviously, I'm in the UK, the weather's not that different to Paris. And I certainly wouldn't want to be standing outside taking pictures all day. Plus the rain as well. They have umbrellas and things, but yeah, they may not be there the entire day. It might just have certain times of day where you can go to these plus locations or plus locations and have your pictures taken. It's always a good thing. They are professional photographers. They are great pictures, and it's always nice to have a memento of your trip there. So if you're going to Disney and these plus locations are there, and you want memories, you don't want to have to worry about taking the pictures yourselves. They are there. And I know one of them is outside the castle. I'm not sure where the others are, but stay tuned, and I'm sure I will have it for you in another video or in a tweet. Disney Beyond at Disney Beyond One. So yeah, they are upping their game when it comes to Fast Pass, and also it has been spotted that RFID machines have been added. Now the RFID machines are basically scanners that will scan your ticket to say that you're in front, like they've got now at the entrance, but a lot more high tech and a lot newer. Um, Currently at Disneyland Paris, you get a voucher for this and a voucher for that and a room key and a park ticket and there's a lot of different tickets if you're having a package holiday there. So I think this is Disney's way of decreasing that amount and having it all on one card. So your room key will also be your park entrance. It will have your meal vouchers on it. Um, if you've got the dining plan or if you're staying. So yeah, they've been spotted around that. It may also tie into fast passes. If they bring the fast pass system over. In Orlando, they have the Magic Bands. Now, some have suggested that maybe Disneyland Paris will get the Magic Bands. I don't think they will get the Magic Bands because that was a large investment for Disney that generally didn't pay off. Um, Disneyland California hasn't got Magic Bands, it's only Disney World. So I think in Disneyland Paris it will be a card, much like the annual passes, um, where it will scan you, it will be your room ticket as well. Obviously, if you've got an annual pass, it won't be your room ticket, but you'll get a card that does that job and will have your meal vouchers on there as well. So it also could mean that Disneyland Paris may finally get Wi-Fi in the park. The RFID machines do require connection to a network to obviously read the data on the card and to share that data with the system. So we can hope that Disneyland gets Wi-Fi. They desperately need Wi-Fi, but time will tell. Um, People have been asking for Wi-Fi in Disneyland Park for a very long time, so it'll be interesting to see if that does happen as part of the 1.5 billion investment. So watch this space. And finally, on the Disney Parks front, Forest of Enchantment is back at the Disneyland Park in Paris. Everyone seems to love this show. It is a great show. I'm sadly this year going to miss it. I'm going in on the 5th of September and it ends on the 3rd of September. But if you are heading to Disneyland Paris over the summer, definitely check out Forest of Enchantment. It's getting great reviews. The cast is great. Apparently, it's just a very enjoyable show, and it's a nice added attraction over the summer, particularly if you go to Disneyland Paris regularly and you want something different. It is there. It's in Frontierland, over the back, where it usually is, and yeah, it's back from now until the 3rd of September. So you've got a good 2 to 3 months to see it. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss it, which is a shame. Hopefully, they'll extend it, maybe, but it's doubtful because they'll be getting ready to gear up for Halloween when I go in September because obviously Halloween is in October. But yeah, they are doing that. If you want to see that over the summer. Okay, so in other Disney related news, we have the D23 Expo in Anaheim. That's a huge event. I think it's the 14th to the 16th, and it goes every 2 years. Everything you could possibly imagine about Disney is announced at D23. The movies, the parks, TV, cartoons, merchandise. It's rumored that there's going to be a big Star Wars land presence, maybe Toy Story land. Um, I will be doing a video on D23 on what I hope my wishes for reveals at D23 will be. Um, but that is happening in a couple of weeks' time. Um, and there will be a lot of news coming out of there. There was a couple of years ago. They showcased Avatar Land, Pandora, I should say, which is now open. And yeah, it's a fantastic event. I wish I could go, but if you are in California or near Anaheim, then and I don't know whether there's still tickets available. There may be, but definitely check it out. If you are going, feel free to comment below and let me know what you are hoping for when you go. It's a big event, big event, and very exciting if you're a Disney fan. So yeah, I will be covering that in a couple of weeks' time. Talking of expos, San Diego Comic Con is also around the corner, and it's been announced that the Inhumans TV show and the Defenders Netflix show will be having panels at the event. So if you're going to San Diego and you're intrigued about the Inhumans and the Defenders shows, go check those panels out because you'll get a lot of news about what they're going to be. Inhumans obviously drops this fall. It's shot in IMAX, so it's also airing at IMAX cinemas. So if you've got an IMAX cinema near you, you can go and watch it on the big screen. It's a big event. It's a big event series. It'd be interesting to see how it's going to tie into what they've done with Inhumans in Shield. But if you haven't seen the trailer for Inhumans, you can check it out right here, right now.
Sooner or later, the humans are going to find us up here.
You should have known this day was coming.
Are we supposed to follow our king and remain as silent as he is? We need to go to Earth now. We've been hiding here too long. Let's go to our rightful home. If we were on Earth, we would have a glorious planet to live on, thrive on.
You're talking about betraying your brother. You're talking about treason.
You're blind to his intentions. Right or wrong, he's dangerous.
What I'm talking about is freedom. Freedom for all Inhumans. Are you going to use your voice to kill your only brother? Stop it!
What the?
We will not let anyone or anything stop us. We will create our destiny. Nothing can keep us from being free.
So yeah, Inhumans does look very good. It's going to be a very good series, I think. The cast is looking great. Visually, it looks great. I don't really know a lot about the Inhumans from the comic books. It's not a group that I've ever really been that interested in. When obviously it was announced that they would be doing an Inhuman film as part of the MCU, it intrigued me, it interested me, it piqued my interest. But obviously that never took off, and then they used the Inhumans property in Agents of Shield. So I think there's been a lot of problems in actually getting the property off the ground. But I think an event TV series is a good fit. I think it will be a good series. Hopefully, they won't make it overly long. I don't know how many episodes it's going to have. Usually, event series only has a handful of episodes. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The trailer looks great. I'm sure there'll be more footage coming out at Comic Con. But sticking with the MCU, we've also got Spider-Man coming out at the weekend. It looks great. I think Tom Holland's going to be a very, very good Spider-Man. I enjoyed him in Captain America Civil War. And I will be going to see the film on Friday when it releases. And so you can watch out for my review on the blog next week. And I will leave links below to the Twitter and the blog. Yeah, so we've also got Cars 3 coming out the following week. I'm a very big fan of Cars, so I'm looking forward to that. Wasn't as keen on Cars 2, but loved Cars 1, and I enjoy watching the Cars part of the live show in the Disney parks, the Cars stunt show. So yeah, I will be seeing Cars as well, so watch out for that review in the future. Okay, so that seems to be all the news for the last couple of weeks. Obviously there is more, but I wanted to cover the main news stories. Anything else that comes out, I always tweet any news articles or any good pieces of information that I find. I tweet them out, and you can follow us at Twitter with the handle at Disney Beyond One. I'm always over there tweeting, so please do come and follow us. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, as that really, really does help the channel, and it helps the channel be found easier on the search on YouTube, so more people can watch. Also, I would love it if you subscribed. These videos will get better, hopefully, and bigger once I get a bit more practice and get a bit more comfortable with the camera. And yeah, so please do like us and subscribe and share the word, as you know, I want to spread the Disney love around. So yeah, also feel free to leave comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts and what you think about the news, and any other bits that I may have missed. Please do share them below as well. And let me know what you think, and let me know if there's anything else that you want me to cover in these videos. Our next news video will be the pop culture edition, so it'll be all the other stuff in the world: gaming, films, comic books, movies. That'll be next Tuesday. And I've also got a Friday feature coming up this week, where you can see my top 5 Disneyland Paris attractions, or what I think are the top 5 Disneyland Paris attractions. So please do check those out when I post them on Friday and next Tuesday. We've also got a blog, the Disney and Beyond blog, on Blogger, so I'll leave the link for that in the description below as well, if you want to come and read what we're doing over there. I'll be doing a feature article there because I'm actually disabled, and it's very different going to the parks in a wheelchair to be able-bodied, so it's a completely different experience sometimes. So I'll be doing an article over there on what it's like to go to the parks in a wheelchair, and my tips for those in wheelchairs as well. So please do look out for that. And that's it. That is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, please do like, subscribe and share, as it is a massive help. And we really do appreciate it. So yeah, until next time, to infinity and beyond.